Welcome, Boo Believers.
Hey, Scream Hearts.
There it is. It's another episode of Deadsville Horror Talk Live.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have sound. Look at that.
Yay.
I'm your host, Deadsville director Ronin James, and to my left, the lovely Steph Infection.
Hello.
We get together and do this like once a week, I guess, try to. And now we're doing live again, so we can chat with you live in the chat. So make sure you join us, make sure you check in. And I got to change some of these captions here, but we're okay. We're going to have the chat going anyway. I have a feeling people are going to want to talk Ghostbusters. That's what we're doing. We're here to review Ghostbusters. We'll probably do a little bit of news as well. And we'll give you our takes.
Yeah, and Ghostbusters has been out for a little bit, so I feel like a lot of people have seen it.
Yeah. I feel like there should be a good amount of people that have seen Ghostbusters. So make sure you chime in the chat. Say hi. If you've seen Ghostbusters, make sure you let us know your thoughts there. Agree with us, disagree with us, whatever you think. We'll get to it very shortly. First of all, I'm Deadsville director Ronin James. Do you want to do this? This is the part you memorized already. So.
I'm going to one day.
I've been a stuntman and stunt coordinator for over 20 years. I went to school for film before that. Now I direct and write and create content and produce alongside with this lovely lady right here, Miss Stephanie Fisher, who also is a actress and content creator and producer and dance choreographer and
whatever I need to be.
Yes, wearer of many hats here at Deadsville Productions. So, we like to give our insight and our opinions on movies. We're big fans of horror. We work in horror. We currently we're about to start. We're in pre-production on another one. Our first feature here at Deadsville Productions, Amityville Barbi the movie. And more on that later. But right now we'll go into the chat and check in, I guess. Let's see, because we have a bunch of people checking in. Craig Werkheiser watching. TJ Thrash watching.
Hi, everyone.
Kundalini King says, saw it, almost walked out of the theater. It was so bad.
Oh, no.
Kundalini checking in on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. In case you don't know, we're on Facebook Live. We're on YouTube Live. We're also on Kick and Twitch. So if you're on any of those platforms, you can follow us there. Please do. Feel free to say hi in the chats there as well. And we're all over. But Facebook is our main base of operations, I guess you would say. Our horror demographic likes to hang out and chit chat and party. So
the older generation, as those youngins say.
Those of us that lived and loved 80s and 90s horror, right?
Yes.
All right.
I have to say I don't agree with you, but we'll get into all that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. All right. Ivy, and I can't pronounce it, but Ivy's checking in as always. We've seen Ivy here a few times before. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks for tuning in as well to Kundalini on YouTube. We got a bunch of people. I see a bunch of watchers.
Ooh, look at all those watchers.
Make sure you guys check in and say hi. There we go. Amanda May is watching. Now I'm getting some.
Hi,
they tell us who's watching on YouTube. We don't get told who's watching on the other.
You mean on Facebook?
I'm sorry. Yes, on Facebook. We get told who's watching on Facebook, not the other. The other platforms.
And if I'm not,
Amanda says, "Hey, hi, Amanda."
Did you see Ghostbusters, Amanda? Anyone else out there watching?
We're going to do our Ghostbusters.
We finally saw it.
Review very shortly. And,
got my Ghostbusters shirt on. Energy.
Yes. I already drank all my coffee. I had my Ghostbusters coffee. But we have Slimer.
Yeah.
We have Slimer, as always, here in the front and center. Let's see. All right. Let's go real quick while we let a couple more people join in. I know we had a couple things here in the news. No, we did that one the other day. Well, about Joe Blow's usually good for some horror news. I'm going to put the screen share up so you guys can also see what I'm looking at here as well.
Yeah, get our big heads off the screen.
Hey, I'm experimenting with a new
The zoom in.
Yeah, new zoom. All right. Well, here we go. If you're a fan of Wolf Creek, creator Greg McLean is set to direct an action horror movie called Graveyard Smash. Interesting. Wolf Creek was a creepy one. Let's see what else we got in here. I'm just going to go through a lot of this and just...
Is it based off of the Monster Mash?
I don't think it's based off of any of that.
But that was a graveyard smash.
It was. Here's one we probably want to check out. We'll look at this real quick, and then we'll get to our review while some more people join in. Terrifier 3, Lauren Lavera, our friend, shares image from set as iconic events releasing picks up theatrical distribution.
If this is the post I'm thinking of, it was funny. Let's see.
So here we go. This is on Joe Blow from Cody Hammond. Iconic events releasing has come on board to handle the theatrical. Shared a picture from set. Ooh, art with the flamethrower.
Wow.
Very cool.
I missed that one.
Writer-director Damien Leone had a budget of around $55,000 to work with on his breakout horror film Terrifier, and a budget of a little over $250,000 for Terrifier 2, which was a massive hit when it was released last year, earning $15.1 million at the box office. The release of the second film went so well, it's no surprise to hear that the companies behind these movies, Cineverse and Bloody Disgusting, are reteaming with the distribution banner Iconic Events releasing for the theatrical release of Terrifier 3 on October 25th. While Variety was reporting on the theatrical distribution, the film star Lauren Lavera was taking to social media to share a picture that was taken of her on the set of Terrifier 3. You can check that out right here.
Oh, this is the one I was talking about. It's funny.
This is what peak trauma acting looks like. Oh, very funny. Very funny. And you see the Christmas lights there. Terrifier 3 has the following synopsis. Art the Clown is set to unleash chaos on the unsuspecting residents of Miles County as they peacefully drift off to sleep on Christmas Eve. That's why Christmas lights can be seen in Lavera's picture. David Howard Thornton is reprising the role of Art the Clown, character who was first introduced in Leone's 2013 anthology All Hallows Eve. Lauren Lavera is back as Terrifier 2 heroine Sienna, and Elliot Fulham returns as Sienna's brother, Jonathan. Samantha Scafidi is returning as Terrifier and Terrifier 2 character Victoria Hayes. Chris Jericho, who had a cameo in Terrifier 2, is also back in Terrifier 3, but he has let everyone know that his appearance in the film won't last very long.
I wonder what that means.
Well, and I've read that they are picking up right from the last one, right where the last one left off. So we saw Jericho as an orderly in the last one. So in this one, he probably gets off very quickly at the beginning. They're just picking up, and yeah, it's probably the end of him pretty quick. Leone has said that this sequel will be going back to the tone of the first movie, as he's aiming to make the third film the scariest, goriest, and most depraved of the bunch. He'll be pulling back on the mystical fantasy element that was so prevalent in the second film, and is also aiming to make sure this one will be less than 2 hours long, since the second one surpassed the 2-hour mark. And that was probably the biggest criticism people had, was it was too long, and there was a lot in there that could have been cut. I made it through no problem. It didn't feel like a full 2 hours to me, but it was, obviously. So, yeah, keeping it around 90 minutes, 100 minutes tops, probably on the probably a better idea. Let's see. If you're worried that Terrifier 3 might wrap the franchise up as a trilogy, have no fear. Leone knows that horror franchises always continue, and anything's possible once the supernatural gets involved. So even if he brings a sequel to a satisfying conclusion for himself as the creator of the franchise, the door can always be opened to more sequels. And, all right, there's a bunch of
blah, blah.
Suits talking blah, blah, and we'll just skip over that. There's the poster we've all seen. This is a horror movie set on Christmas, and awesome. Look at this. They got the heads in the in the tree.
That's
lights coming out of them.
Picture.
Yep, you got some entrails and a hand and foot coming through holding up ball. You got a dead body back here. Very cool.
Damien's just knocked it out of the park with this one.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be amazing. So, you guys, I know you're excited for Terrifier 3. You can comment your thoughts. We will jump back over to
I see Stacy checked in. I know.
Yeah, we got to come back
and will be.
Say hi to everybody now. Terrifier 3 thoughts. I know. All right, there's Stacy Lynn checking in. Matt Zanes checking in. Says, I mean, I guess she looks terrified. Amanda May checking in says, heard Thornton did a scene that made him almost throw up. Yeah, I was reading something like that too.
That's crazy.
He was kind of like retching from a
Oh
scene.
my gosh. Now, I wonder which one that was.
Yeah, we'll see. Pushing the boundaries. Matt Zane says, will it compare to Silent Night, Deadly Night, though? It's going to be tough, but no, I'm sure it'll be way better.
I think it's just going to be a
Silent
different.
Night, Deadly Night.
Just different.
Yeah, it'll be different, but yeah, I mean, this is, the gore on these movies is to the extreme level. So I mean, it's pushing boundaries of good taste, and always pushing, because Damien's a special effects artist, so always on the cutting edge with the special effects stuff and the gore and blood, to say the least. So they're always going to go over the top with a lot of that stuff. So. All right, well, there you have it, Boo Believers.
Why does this look like that on mine?
I don't know.
It didn't.
You got wonky screenage.
I know.
Maybe take it there. We'll bring it down a bit. All right. Well, I guess it's time to get to our review of Ghostbusters Afterlife. Let me jump on over to, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Duh.
Yeah. Get it right.
Yeah, let me bring up our IMDb page here. And we shall bring up a share screen. So you guys can follow along at home. All right, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire 2024, PG-13, an hour and 55 minutes. I will say it didn't seem that long.
No, actually. I was thinking about that.
And people were saying it was like 2 hours. I was like, was it really? I felt like it was rushed and quick.
You thought it was rushed?
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Certain writing parts,
we'll get into that.
Like
yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah. I thought that the plot things moved ahead very quickly. There wasn't a lot of earned stuff
that's fair.
there. So we'll get in. Yeah, we'll get into that. No spoilers yet. As always, we're going to do our spoiler-free first take. We will go through the synopsis, the writer, director, cast, and give our spoiler-free first take of what we thought, recommend or not recommend, all that kind of stuff. And then we'll give you a heads up before we dig deeper, break out the shovels, beat each other over the head with them, and get into all the spoilery stuff. So you will get a definite warning before we get into spoiler territory. So you can bail if you haven't seen Ghostbusters Frozen Empire yet and you don't want anything spoiled. So
don't be scared.
Yes. With that said, why don't you read us that synopsis, Steph Infection?
You got it. When the discovery of an ancient artifact unleashes an evil force, Ghostbusters, new and old, must join forces to protect their home and save the world from a second ice age. Dun, dun, dun.
And
that's
pretty much sums it up. I mean, that's like I don't know.
You don't need any more. That's pretty much.
No, I know. I'm just saying the ancient artifact. There's always some kind of artifact. Somebody's always uncovering an artifact, and it's we have our own artifact. Speaking of artifacts,
we do.
The prop just came in the mail. Well, the beginning of the prop. The beginning of the prop. We won't talk any more about that, but it came, and we will have our own little artifact for Amityville Barbi. But yes, as all good horror movies do, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire kicks off with an ancient artifact and an evil force. So, our director was Gil Keenan. Writers were Gil Keenan, Jason Reitman, and Ivan Reitman that they're still crediting, even though it's past. So
that's why they credit him, and they dedicated this movie to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Stars Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, Finn Wolfhard, et cetera, et cetera. All of our OGs are back. Although if you're hoping for a heavy dose of Bill Murray, you're not going to get it. And that was one of my...
I wasn't expecting it. I was actually expecting less, so that's just my...
Interesting, because he was only in like 2 scenes. That's why I was like, I really thought we would have a little more of him in here.
I just didn't.
All right. Well...
I wanted more.
Yeah.
I didn't think we would have more.
Yep. All right. Well, let's go with the director first, Gil Keenan. He wrote the thing too, so he's basically in our crosshairs for everything here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just. I mean, the directing was solid enough. I felt like. Do you want to just go ahead and give yours first? Give your whole.
My only issues are with his writing. I think the direction was fine, and with what he had, there was just certain spots in it where, just like we always have, like I don't know, maybe too much of a story in one part, and then, like you said, it kind of seemed rushed, and there were. I understand why he did what he did, but some of it I could have done without, with the writing.
Right.
But overall, it was fine. It wasn't. I don't hate it where I'm gonna rip it apart. It was just some of it I wasn't crazy about, and that was the writing, not the direction.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I might rip some of it apart, but. Yeah, it's going to be about the writing. I mean, it's all about the writing for me, which usually happens. I felt like, man, I mean, the posters, the trailers, they all kind of hinted that we were getting this big team up and we were going to get all this, New York being under ice and all that. And again, not to give anything away, but I felt like it didn't deliver what it promised. And I felt like... for being 2 hours long, I felt like, man, there's probably another movie out there that's 2.5 hours long that might be better than this, because I've heard that there was a lot of it edited. So yeah. I just feel like there was a lot of stuff there were a lot of parts in the writing that felt rushed, things that were skipped over or just moved to rapidly, so quickly, so that they could get from one dilemma to another, just to piece together these little set pieces that they wanted to put together that they had in their heads. I just felt like there was a lot of unearned stuff in between, whether it was relationships or even the villain, man. I felt like
too much.
Well, here's the thing. They talk too much about him. Yeah. I never got the sense that this villain was all that formidable ever, because besides them just talking about it and showing all this, the cave drawings or whatever and all this stuff and doing all this thing. And they really didn't do a whole lot with the villain for this guy. It was supposed to be, I can't even remember. Abraxas, was it? Is that his name?
No.
Abraxas was from a different movie we just watched. That was a demon. What was the fucking...
It began with a G. It's
Garaka?
Garakas? Oh, man.
I can't even remember the fucking thing's name. That's how, forgettable he was. I just felt like,
Garaka.
There's a lot. Garaka that's what I thought.
Garaka.
Yeah, Garaka.
All right.
Yeah, and he was he was okay. He was cool looking, but I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Again, how did they just there
was
we'll get there.
They spent too much time, I think, on other areas too. And
look, as this goes, as a Ghostbusters movie, it was okay. It was all right. There were parts that I found funny. There was, the acting wasn't bad. The acting was always good. It was great to see. They did a lot of fan service in here. That was great. There was some good stuff with the fan service.
The nostalgia of the fan service made me clap at the end. I actually felt like it was I was happy at the end of the movie. So overall, I liked it. But when we're going to pick apart the actual writing, and it was more, geared towards, which we said, a younger generation, not like the original Ghostbusters that had more adult humor and stuff. So you have
and I'm getting this feeling that just. Hollywood just apparently, I guess they're right. The young generation doesn't give a shit about any kind of good storytelling at all. They don't care. They're going to go out and put money down come on. Five Nights at Freddy's is a perfect example.
Look,
the young generation doesn't give a shit about storytelling.
We cannot compare everything to that awful god awful.
They don't care
movie.
about storytelling. They don't care about character,
I didn't when I
development
was
and
younger.
arcs.
No, I didn't care when I was a kid.
Right.
I didn't understand that. It was just like, oh, this is somebody I know. This is cool. Like,
Right.
you don't
Put
care.
a face that everybody knows, and then just put a bunch of cool
I'm sure
special
you
effects on
watch
screen.
stuff you didn't care. You were like, oh, that's just,
Yeah, but they still made good movies around that stuff.
Yeah, but
you can
I'm
tell,
sure
like,
we loved some horrible movies
I
back
don't
in the day. Yeah,
all right. At any rate, do you recommend this one?
I do. I do recommend it. I think it's a good movie.
Do you
to
recommend
watch.
seeing it in the theater?
No, not necessarily.
Yeah, I would have
No.
rather have seen Godzilla X Kong in the theater than going to have seen this.
Well, yeah, we gotta do
We're
that.
still got to do that one.
Yeah,
3D IMAX.
3D.
We're going in 3D IMAX. We're going big for Godzilla Kong,
All right.
King of Prussia.
Okay.
But yeah, we went and saw this second instead.
I mean,
and I just wish I would have waited kind of for this to, because I just don't feel like there was like I was kind of falling asleep at parts.
What are you talking about? When were you falling asleep at parts?
There was just things in there that made me groan and roll my eyes into the back of my head.
I don't remember you having that happening. But I think when we were watching it was fine, and it wasn't until later and us like talking about it that we really started picking things apart. But I think for nostalgic reasons, to kind of wrap, I like the storyline. I like that it's the Spengler family. I like that the OGs are in it. I like it all. But am I going to like stick this on and watch it again? No. Will I watch the original Ghostbusters? Every year. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll watch the original Ghostbusters.
I watch that all the time. Yeah.
I will probably never watch this again.
But I do think it's a good, it's, I wouldn't have walked out of the theater like our friends said.
Well,
but,
I didn't walk out of the theater, but I wish I would have
end.
gone to see Godzilla X Kong instead.
That's fair.
And waited for this to watch on the big screen TV in my room, because I felt a bit let down. And again, I had when I walked out of the theater, I did feel a bit let down, but I also still had that nostalgia tinglies. So over the course of the week that we've had to think about it, I've gotten more and more angry about the movie, thinking about more things in there that I did not like. So,
but yes, we come here to really pick apart movies. So I will say that it was overall okay. It hit all those nostalgic marks. The background, there's Easter eggs everywhere. The OG cast, I had this sense of like, we're probably not really going to see them on screen again, like together, even if they make another one. I don't know if they'll, one's already passed. So I got this like, oh my gosh, they're all together again. Like I got very happy and I wanted to clap at the end of it just for that. And like, it wasn't a bad movie at all. It was just, parts of it I think should have been written better. But so I do recommend seeing it. You don't have to see it in the theater unless you have nothing else to do. Yeah, go to the theater.
Yeah, but there's so much stuff in the theater. Like I said, this.
If you've seen everything
Late
else,
Night with the Devil crushes this.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh my God.
Well,
Kundalini King also commented, "Yeah, we regretted not seeing Godzilla." Yeah, I mean that's kind of where like. Yeah, I was just. I was a little disappointed. I was a lot disappointed.
Matt Zane said Abraxas was in Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah, that's where it was.
Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah, I know.
We just did that.
Justin
review
says checking in on YouTube.
Oh yeah, got us on your screen, huh? Very cool.
Kundalini King says, "Don't use Myers to push your weird woke Chinese Hollywood agenda. We don't want that crap in our heritage films." I'll address that when we get to the spoilers. When I realized what they were doing, my heart broke. Matt Zane says, hopefully they'll release a director's cut that will fill it out. Yep. Connolly says, Firestarter could have been a great character. The actor was weak ASF as fuck. I actually like the actor.
Him. Yeah.
I mean, in that he plays the same person he plays in every fucking movie. He does the same thing.
Ditzy.
Yeah. Kind of says Abraxas is a real god. Yes. And Abraxas was in Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. But Yeah, I did like the fire starter. I liked the whole character was kind of, it just made me laugh. Like there were moments, and I know I've seen like a lot of people having trouble with him, thinking he didn't fit. They pushed it. I'm like, I don't really have a huge problem with him. I thought it was funny. It was cute.
Again, I mean, I like the actor. Kumail Nanjiani
Yeah.
is a good actor. He's funny in a lot of the things that I've seen him in.
He does
But yeah,
play
they were
that,
obviously just trying to check off the box by putting him in there and making sure that they had that diversity quota hit. All right. Well, I would recommend seeing it, waiting to see it at home.
Yeah.
Steph, pretty much the same, right?
Same, yeah. Like I said, if you've seen all the movies and you want to just go to the theater, fine. See it.
Yeah. Any standout actors in there you want to talk about? I didn't find any of them to be very.
No.
They were all okay.
No, I mean.
They all did what they usually do. The ones that we know did what they do, and the kids were okay enough. Again, I don't mind the acting. It was more the script that I'm having the fucking problem with. So
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, we will start doing our spoilers. Pass me that shovel, Steph.
Right.
Infection.
There you go. Watch your head.
Caught it. Boink.
Oh.
It's time to dig deeper. And it's spoiler time, Boo Believers. So if you haven't watched Ghostbusters Frozen Empire yet, we're going to talk spoilers. We're going to get into some details and some things we liked, probably more things we didn't like, probably more things I didn't like.
Yeah.
I'll probably have a rant in there somewhere.
I'm sure.
And stay tuned if you're into that. And if you haven't seen it, we won't mind if you bail. You can come back and listen after you've seen the movie. But we're going to move on now. And I want to bring up the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire Rotten Tomatoes. And let's see what we have here. As you see, very interesting on Rotten Tomatoes. We're going to check the critics' scores before we dig deeper. The tomatometer, which is the critics, gave it a 44%. The audience gave it an 83%. So
that makes sense to me.
Yeah, it totally makes sense because critics know what make a good movie and the audience just wants fan service.
Well, not just once, but especially with this, like, there's really bad nostalgic movies where they're bringing it back for, with a new rebooted cast, if you will. And these ones, I appreciate they're intertwining the two. So,
all right, well, I'm going to read these here. What to know. Here's the critics' consensus. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire offers a certain amount of nostalgia-fueled fun for fans of the original, but a crowded cast and surprisingly serious tone prevent this sequel from truly sparking. And the audience says, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire has plenty of nostalgia for longtime fans, as well as fun, multi-generational action for younger audiences to enjoy.
Dude, that's spot on.
Yeah,
it is
sure.
spot on.
They're both spot on.
Yeah.
The critics one is too.
That's what I mean. They're both spot on.
Serious tone, that whole thing with her. And
yes, agree.
Stupid, number one, but why it was so out of place.
The love
that
interest.
Whole thing. I mean, number one, we don't need any kind of love interest from a 15-year-old girl in any of our movies, do we?
No.
Right?
Well,
I mean, we don't need any of that. And that's fine. Like, they didn't really dig into it, so I was like, whatever.
They never actually said it was.
Right. Nobody ever said it was. But my whole, I'm going to rant on that one. So let me just make sure there's nothing else we want to.
All right.
We want to do here because the rant's coming. Oh, the rant is coming.
Let it fly. We're already in spoiler.
Well, hang on. I know. I'm going to read a couple more reviews. So here's one from, this is a top critic. Until Ghostbusters decides if it wants to throw its lot in with one era or the other, it's always going to be between two worlds, and that purgatory makes for a middling experience that doesn't quite satisfy. Spot on.
Yeah.
It's like the scriptwriters just devoured some plates of Ghostbusters stuff and went barf. None of it makes any sense. Yes. It's just a bunch of fucking fan service that they slapped together. Yes, exactly. As scattershot and uneven as it is unnecessary, it fails to effectively build on the foundation laid in Afterlife while at the same time relegating the old-timers into oddly integrated super cameo appearances. Yep. That's all they were. Super cameos. That's it.
Well, Dan Aykroyd was in like the
Dan
entire
Aykroyd's
movie.
the only one that was in the entire movie, though. The rest of them were just cameos. That's the way it was. After, you know, they. Yeah, all right. Busted makes me feel good. At the end of the day, it's Ghostbusters. What do you want? Says Jonathan Sim of comingsoon.net. How about a non-pandering piece of shit that actually makes sense? That's what I want from my Ghostbusters movie, Jonathan Sim. And a villain that we could actually be like afraid of. Like Zool. Zool was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Zool was awesome. The whole building of Zool, when they talked to Zool, I got none of the fucking creepy vibes that I got from Zool from Baraka or whatever, Garaka, whatever the fuck his name is. Garaka. He sounds like a mortal, a fucking Mortal Kombat character.
The thing is, when he walked through the door, there's just a sense of it's so unrealistic. Whereas, you know, in the other ones, there was more realistic demons and whatnot. But he looked cool coming in, but
cool,
then
but
I was like, all right, it's so fake looking.
Yeah,
like,
the CGI was bad.
And what? Oh, he got his horns removed, but now all of a sudden, like that whole thing, I was like, what? Why couldn't he just go down? Why is his horns got to be removed? Then he's got to put his horns back on. Then he's got to.
It was so convoluted to
come
make
off
all this
again.
Yeah,
just say he was this demon that got sucked down. Like little things like that, I was like stuck on. I was like, what? That's a little bit much. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Frozen Empire will satisfy fans who want to see the gang back, but as a film, this is a corporately minded muddle that may gross at the box office, but lacks the heart of its predecessors. Yes, exactly. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Again, I will always say that I like the team up. I like that people can go with their families, their young kids, introduce them to something nostalgic. They'll like it for their own reason, not knowing the originals, and you like it because you got all these Easter eggs. I get it. The writing was awful, but you know, there's still that sense that I felt good after it. So
yeah, no, I felt good right after the movie too. It's like I don't know what do I compare it to?
I don't even know because I can't think of anything comparable.
Oh man, I won't even. I was going to say something, but I won't because it'll get us canceled.
Oh God! Yeah, please.
Anthony
wait.
Noble checking in. What's up, Ed? All right, so let's dig into this one. Let me just start. I'm going to start with the fucking whole.
What's our first rant?
Okay, so we have Phoebe Spengler who gets kicked off the team, and you know, Peck. We discover that. You know, Dickless Peck from the original Ghostbusters is now the mayor, and he's pissed because they do all this damage when they bust Ghost, this new crew, and they're making a mess, and they have a 15-year-old girl hanging out the door of the fucking shooting a laser beam, and rightfully so, he should be worried. Like I was with him. I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right.
Yeah, but they live in a town with ghosts.
I mean,
and only a man.
I get it, but you know what? A 15-year-old can't work in a bar. They can't.
I know.
They can't be a police officer. They can't do anything.
Well, yeah, I like that they.
But you're going to give somebody a fucking proton pack that's underage and let them hang out.
Who are you yelling at? Her mother, who she's more of a scientist and knows more, you know, science like about the proton pack than anyone else.
I get it. No, I get it. I get that. But from a legal standpoint, no city would allow a 15-year-old girl to drive around as a Ghostbuster. I'm sorry, it would not happen. Okay,
yeah.
So Peck was well within his rights, and I totally agreed with him. And she had to sit out. So then we get our whole pouty pout. Okay, it's pout time. Oh, I'm 15. I can't be a Ghostbuster. Boo-hoo.
Wait, before you go on, can I just give a shout out to her joke in the beginning?
What joke? Oh, yeah, the protons. Yeah.
As somebody who studied radiation physics, I really appreciate that joke.
Yes.
About the proton traveling light.
Yes.
So we didn't need the check bags.
Yes, that's fine. That's
great.
Fine.
Go on.
Okay.
Rant on the pout.
Yeah, pout. I mean, this actress is probably in her 20s, I would suspect.
Yeah,
so she could have played an 18-year-old and been totally legal to be riding around with a proton pack. But instead, they make her 15, and they kick her off the team. So this is our major.
Well, she was in.
This is our major conflict. This is our conflict. This is more important.
Yeah, but
than
Paul
the
Rudd
demon.
was her teacher, so they said her age in the last
I know.
one.
I
Can't
get
just-
it. I get it.
They could have said
They
it
could
was
have
3
set it up
years
then.
later or
Yep.
whatever. They could have.
Or here's a crazy, interesting idea. Maybe keep her inside the fucking hearse. Maybe somebody else goes out the fucking
You do realize
door.
they said, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And
But she shouldn't even be in the seat. Why would they let her in the seat?
They all do it.
No, they don't all do it. There's one that does it. She shouldn't be in the seat. Finn Wolfhard, the boy who's 18, should be in the seat firing the fucking proton pack.
Okay, but who are you mad at for this?
I'm mad at the writers.
Oh, okay.
I'm mad at the writers. This is what I'm ranting on. The fucking writers. I know they needed to kick her off so that they could do this whole fucking thing. This whole movie is about her getting kicked off the team, and supposedly she's supposed to be earning her way back on or proving. Like, you would think that the story arc here, and this is why this is why this movie to me fucking sucked. At the end of the day, this script sucked because there is no character development. If she is obviously the main character, this is obviously the demon is like a subplot. The demon is a backdrop to her and her growing up or whatever the fuck this is. It's supposed to be her
Why'd they do that?
story. This is supposed to be her emotional journey that she's going on here. So she gets kicked off the team, pout, 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 right? Then she makes the biggest series of dumbass decisions that somebody could possibly make. Like, I would even question if a normal child from just like around here in Delco would make the dumb decisions that she continuously makes throughout the rest of the movie. And she's supposed to be a fucking genius. She's supposed to be a genius level intellect, right? But she's making dumber decisions than some of the most dumb people I have ever met in my life would make. And I'm just like, what the fuck this doesn't even make any sense. And then, before I even get into all the dumb decisions, I just want to say, by the end of the movie, there is no character growth.
Yeah.
Basically, there's no consequences for any of her actions, and she just gets back on the team because they need her.
I know. She did. They needed her. There was Garaka.
Because she was the only one that could figure out and this was my other huge problem. Les Price checking in, sending 100 stars. Whoa, thank you, Screamheart. Appreciate that, brother. Here's my other huge. We're in the spoilers section now. We're in the spoilers. Here's my other thing. When they came up with the idea to melt all of the copper.
Oh my
God!
Yes.
Right, they melt all the copper. Why did they only just dip her proton pack's core in it?
She did it.
She did it. Yes.
I know.
But why didn't she have everybody else dip their fucking cores from their proton packs in there?
I thought the same.
I was like, why would we just have the 15-year-old girl's proton pack be the only one? Like, who the fuck?
And also, I'm pretty sure they said we only have this amount of time before she started melting, and she melted a lot of it.
There was a lot of it.
15 minutes.
No, dude. And when you saw her dip hers in, there was a whole fucking pot full of it. You could have dipped 5 more fucking proton pack cores in there, man. I was so mad. I was like, what? Wait, one? I thought that they were going to do all of them. Like, that was like, she's the smart one.
Yes.
She figured that out. Oh, good job, girl.
No, she's going to be the savior.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Then they had to make her the savior. And again, completely unearned. She's making mistake after mistake. And instead of paying any kind of consequences for it and having to work her way back, she's just the smartest person in the room as usual. And this is what we get. This is exactly, man, you got me going now because this is exactly what's wrong with this fucking next generation. This next generation just has everything fucking handed to them, just like they get their participation trophies.
There we go.
We as parents did. I never gave my kid a fucking participation trophy. He was not allowed to accept no fucking participation trophy. But the whole participation trophy parent generation is the one that did this. There is no repercussions, no responsibility, no having to earn anything, no fucking character development, no growth. Just, we need you, so here, you can be back on the team. You're a Ghostbuster again. It was so fucking stupid, man. It was so fucking stupid.
To be fair, though, they did not. It wasn't like they kicked her off the mayor did. So
No, I know
they
the mayor
wanted her
did.
on. So
No,
it wasn't like she was
absolutely.
grounded and needed to prove to them. They knew she should be on the team. It was the mayor. And
Right.
they were
No, I
like,
get
F
it.
the mayor at this point because it was a huge thing. So I don't think she needed to earn her right back on the team with the family.
No, but okay.
That's why I'm saying I don't
here's
think
the
I think
thing.
that's
Here's
getting
the thing.
messy with.
They told her with the very first scene, they told her don't do it. Right?
Yeah.
And what does the 15-year-old child do? Does what she wants to do, shoots herself out into the seat, blasts her fucking proton pack all over the street and causes a shit ton of damage.
Yeah.
That's what the mayor was mad about.
Yeah.
If she doesn't do that, she doesn't get kicked off the team. If she keeps her ass in the fucking car and Finn Wolfhard goes out on the seat, maybe it doesn't happen like that. But instead, everybody in New York saw a 15-year-old girl firing a laser gun hanging out the side of a fucking hearse. Okay?
Yeah.
So, she made a huge mistake. They told her not to do it, and she disobeyed them. And instead of learning from her mistake, they just give her back onto the team. Like, that's the perfect setup for a character to have to earn it and work their way back up to being trusted again and show that they have learned from their mistakes. But she doesn't learn anything, because what does she do at the end of the movie? She makes herself a ghost. Oh, if this wasn't a fucking...
Oh my God, you're going to break everything.
If this wasn't a Deadsville hat, I would slam it down.
What
Holy
the hell
shit.
was that?
I was about to slam something down.
I know.
I was about to slam it down.
And
She's
then
going to make herself a ghost.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. She could have made the ghost. Didn't she say you could go either way or something? I don't even know.
I don't even care.
But
It's just so
they needed that moment of her being able to be possessed in her body. Like,
no, they needed exactly.
But it was
and that's
so
what and
rushed.
that's the
Everything
sign
was
of bad
rushed.
writing.
Yes.
They need her to do something, to be in this position. They need her to be possessed.
Mm-hmm.
They need her to get possessed. So how do they get her there? Oh, well, let's make her do something that is totally out of character for her character. That's bad writing. If you could think a little harder and come up with something that's actually in character for her, that's good writing. You can get her there. But the lazy writing is what they did. They make her do some fucking dumb shit that, and I don't care. I don't care how many fucking hormones the 15-year-old girl is on. This is a fucking Spengler. She is a genius. Yeah. Okay. She has proven she's a genius. She would not make these emotionally stupid decisions.
But that entire relationship with the ghost and stuff,
totally unearned.
Right from the beginning. And you said totally saw that something was up.
I knew something was up right away.
But I was like,
that was so fucking.
I just thought, I was like, oh really? She's gonna have a friendship with a ghost? That never, that's not even on the same ballpark as the original ones. Like, it's not even close to what would actually happen. Like, I don't know. I just didn't like that at all. And what they could have had, she could have been an evil ghost, but she could have just went and stole that stupid record and played it or something to open up the thing. Yeah. Like, I don't know. There was all this extra stuff. Her sneaking out, her coming into her room, telling her cool room. Like, I'm like, who cares? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's what I said. We're spending all that time doing that dumb shit and inflating the runtime when they could have spent it showing us more Bill Murray.
That too. He probably cost more. But they could have just had this fire ghost. I like the whole cold, ice and fire, whatever. But she didn't have to actually have a relationship with. With Phoebe. She could have just been a secondary one that we saw behind the scenes going and stealing the record and getting the ball and opening it up for him. I don't know. Why did we need
this whole side story with Phoebe? I mean, that was the other thing. Right as soon as we see Phoebe walking into Central Park and playing checkers
at dusk,
the fucking sun's down and you're in. Get the fuck out of here! What 15-year-old is just going out at night by themselves? Now, I was like, first of all, a parent wouldn't let him, but somebody pointed out, no, she was grounded and she snuck out. Okay, she snuck out.
Yeah, she did.
Again.
But
I don't know what park it was, but shouldn't she be smart enough to? Was it Central Park? Okay.
Well, they're in Manhattan.
All right. Well, she should be smart enough to know better than to be in Central Park at night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 15-year-old girls don't go to Central Park at night.
But
I don't
also,
care if they do want to play chess with their ghost friends.
They probably want you to know that, not everyone knows how dangerous.
I get
that
it.
is,
She was a
so-
country bumpkin before this.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't
could
realize
just
how
walk.
dangerous it
Yeah.
is. I get it. I'm gonna check in on some of the chat here real quick because we got a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see. Bam, bam. I know you got it, guys. Brax's room. We did the
We did
Abraxas
that.
stuff. Godzilla. Bam, bam, bam. Good time. Bill Murray was the best actor. Kundalini King says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was great, and I wanted to see more of him. I actually didn't hate Patton Oswalt. I thought he was okay too, but he really was just like an info dump kind of character. Dr. Sleep's one of my favorite sequel films. It can be done. I wasn't a big fan of Dr. Sleep, to be honest with you. It kind of put me to sleep.
You always say that.
Ghostbusters 2 at the theaters as a kid was filled with great memories. The cartoon was great. You can't tell me you can't make a great film with Ghostbusters. No excuses. No, I agree.
Yeah.
There was a ton. There's a ton of opportunity there. Connolly agreed that she should have been 18. Stop exploiting minors to push your ideological crap. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I get they want to appeal to a younger audience, but all right, if you're gonna have minors in your movies, then don't have any sexual anything in there. It's probably a good idea at this point, Hollywood. You are so fucking in the fucking crosshairs with all this shit going on, and between Weinsteins and every other fucking
I mean, they
Hollywood
didn't make
pervert
it
out there.
sexual.
No, I
at
know,
all.
but they should maybe just not even have any kind of. They hinted at it. They should
Flirting,
have just
yeah.
left it the fuck out completely.
Yeah.
It was
more
totally
than a
unnecessary.
friendship.
It was totally unnecessary.
It was more than a friendship.
It was totally
It
unnecessary.
was a crush. It was a crush.
And that's fine. You can have a crush, but you know what? Totally unnecessary in the context of Ghostbusters and
Agreed.
Ghostbusting. Brittany Fox checks in. Sorry I'm late. Here's some stars. Mwah! Thank you,
Yay!
Brittany. Scream heart. Thank you. No worries. We are here for a little bit longer. You got here just in time.
Mm-hmm.
Les Price said, prizes for 4th place. Yep, that's it. Brittany says, can't stay because I've not seen it yet. Wanted to pop in and say hello. All right, yes, don't.
She's probably not
you're-
here anymore.
Yeah, you're probably not with us anymore, Brittany. Very good. All right, we're all caught up in the chat. Let's see if there's anything else we got to check out over here. Oh, Wikipedia news. Any other parts you want to talk about? I love Janine. I love that she had.
I love that she
was in there.
fighting.
I wish they
busted.
would have actually showed more of. She had like this fucking gauntlet proton
Yeah.
pack. I wish they would have showed it. Why didn't they show that? Like, I would have been more interested, and especially like there was like some good stuff in there, like when they had the parts with Winston showing them around like the new ghostbusting lab and all that. There was so much potential for like cool gadgets, cool moments, cool stuff, and instead they
had the
wasted it
slime
all.
busters in the background. That was a good little
Yep.
Easter egg.
Yep. We had a little bit of Slimer in there, and that was cool. I would have liked to have seen Slimer.
Were you a fan of the way he looked?
It was okay. I mean,
It was scarier looking.
yeah,
than the
definitely a little
original?
scarier, but
I don't know. I did like those parts because it like him going through them, sliming them, and
yeah.
Mike being like, is that his name in this one? No, that's his name in Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. Yeah, and he was good. I liked him.
It
in
was
this, and I
because
thought
he needed
was-
to like buck up and do more, and so I there were parts I liked and I thought were funny, and it was mainly just the entire writing with Phoebe and the ghost that I hated. I think even with the fire, what is not fire starter,
whatever.
holder, I think.
The Fire Master.
Fire master. That whole thing was just funny to me because it was like, how do you let these artifacts out? Well, dumbass.
Right.
So, and then he doesn't know that he has the,
Oh no, I get that.
I
that
kind of
whole
liked
setup,
all that.
but-
And it wasn't, I don't think it was overdone. It was kind of thrown in there, but it still had was there for comedic relief, and how this thing actually got out of a room when your grandmother, you realize he's just ditz and it got out. So that was fun. I think this entire movie would have been better for me if Phoebe and the ghost didn't have their whole relationship. It didn't need to be about one character. and you know, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I would have liked to see more stuff with the about the villain, like actually do like. And here was my other problem with it. Like we thought that like New York is they kept putting this whole New York is under ice, New York and da, da, da. And when it all came down to it, we barely saw any like New York. The final fight was him coming to the firehouse, and the whole thing was them having the stand at the firehouse. So there was so much time spent in the firehouse,
Yeah.
and down with the fucking containment unit. And
Can I say the opening scene I thought was great?
yeah, I like the opening.
The opening scene with the 1904 firehouse, which is where they're based out, going to this place, going in, and they're all frozen.
Mm-hmm.
And
the setup was good.
I love that opening.
That was really good.
And his hand is going on the thing. I love that. So I thought that was really cool.
I like that as well.
There were good parts in this, but again, it was just the writing. And I just have to say how much I love the little itty bitties.
The Stay Puffs.
Stay Puffs. They were so cute.
The little Stay Puffs were awesome, and they were a ton of fun as well. Again, like, man, I just wish that we would have had more fun stuff in there, and not so much of like the mopey little girl stuff, the mopey teenage girl shit, and like.
Yeah, I guess they're trying to relate it to the younger generation too. I didn't like the way that was written.
Yeah.
So other than that, though, it was all right. But
I mean, again, would have liked to see more about Janine with that blaster, and I like that they had new, like, updated proton packs and stuff. Like, they kind of showed some of that stuff off.
Yeah,
I like the drone. That was cool. Like the new drone technology for the trap
in the beginning.
I thought that was cool. Like, there was a lot of cool stuff in there, but the story didn't have anything to do with it. The story was so based and so focused on her mopey ass fucking crying about not being able to be a Ghostbuster because she's only 15. Oh.
Yeah, I hated that entire storyline.
Yeah, so
that's it.
I guess, I'm not a 15-year-old girl, so it's not a movie for me, I suppose, even though I fucking grew up on Ghostbusters. This isn't for me.
Well,
I'm not a lesbian or a person of color or anything else that fits on that spectrum that they're trying to target here. So this is just not for me.
That's not necessarily
That's what I feel
true.
like.
I know, but that's just with the one storyline. I think they were trying to connect to audiences, which is what we said.
But they're not trying to connect with it. I mean,
people bringing their kids to see it. So I understand a lot of it. It's just they're just creating a whole story that didn't have to be created. It could have just been like, evil's coming, let's fight it. Like, there didn't have to really be like this huge storyline on a love interest and a friendship and all that stuff. Just
and here's the other part. The other, like I said, if you're going to base your story around your 15-year-old girl, and you want to, character development would say that after she gets kicked off the team, she goes on a journey of self-discovery and grows. That does not include just doing all the dumb shit that she kept doing, just disobeying, sneaking out. Like, right off the bat, she sneaks out. Right off the bat, she is disobedient yet again, and it gets her into trouble. So her dumbass goes to Central Park. Let's just go through the dumb decisions. Goes to Central Park to play chess in the middle of the night.
Or at night. We don't know.
We don't know what time it is, but it's at night in New York.
Yep. Central
to play
Park.
Chess. 15-year-old girl.
Most murders happen.
She's literally there for what? Like, she literally gets the things out, and the ghost starts moving the fucking pieces, right? Yeah. And it moves like one or two pieces, and then shows up to her, and she's not even phased. Nothing. She's like, "Oh, hey, come here often." I'm just like, she didn't say that, but that's what it felt like.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like. Oh because now we're flirting.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? You bust ghosts for a living. Like, your job is to put ghosts in a containment unit, and a ghost shows up right in front of you, and your reaction is to play chess and flirt with it?
That's only the bad ghosts.
No, there was no bad or good. They have never made a differentiation on bad or good
ones
ghosts,
that are wreaking havoc on the city and actually doing things. Yes, this one was speaking. So I get why they, I don't know.
All right, fair enough. But wouldn't you be suspicious at least if you were a Ghostbuster?
Yes, absolutely. That's
you
what I
wouldn't
mean.
just be like, all of a sudden, this is my best friend. Like you play chess with her, and now she's your best friend.
They wanted us to know that she's lonely. So,
right.
So
nobody understands her except the dead. That's the fucking, right? That's where the message we're supposed to get right there. Nobody understands me except Ghost Girl.
She's all of a sudden,
So, of course, it's just like
Dietz.
instant fucking friendship. And they have no questions, no earning the friendship, no nothing.
Yeah.
And she just disappears, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next time we see her, is it at the containment unit? The next time we see Ghost Girl?
She invites her over. No, she pops up at her house.
But isn't she in the containment unit? She's standing at the containment unit looking at it when what's her name finds her.
No,
when Phoebe finds her.
That's after she invited her into her room, and then they go looking through the house.
Okay.
She doesn't find her there.
They
walked around. She was showing.
No, there was one point where
they were already in the house.
Okay. They might have already been in the house, but there's a point where she doesn't realize where she is.
Yeah.
And she walks down and finds the ghost staring at the containment.
That's right. They start out in the bedroom, and then you see that's where they're in the hallway, and she just goes through. She disappears, and then Phoebe's like standing there and looking through the house, and then she finds her downstairs. And she goes, "Oh, that's our containment unit." And she goes, "Yeah, I know what it is."
Yeah. At that point, wouldn't you be a little suspicious? Wouldn't you be a little suspicious that this fucking ghost is using you at that point? They knew that the containment unit is dead, all that shit, and they're standing there creepily staring at it. That's not a fucking red flag. That don't make any little light go off. Red flag pop up in your fucking head. Mrs. Spengler genius level fucking intellect. But no, you're so blinded by your 15-year-old emotions. I'm blinded by my 15-year-old emotions. I don't even see it. I didn't even see she was using me.
Is that your 15-year-old girl voice? This is my 15-year-old girl voice. I'm blinded by my 15-year-old emotions. I'm going to be a Ghostbuster. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. It was so fucking awful. Oh, it was so fucking awful. And the sad part is, here's the sad part. I really liked her character in Afterlife. I really liked her in Afterlife. And now I hate her.
Because she looks so much, like Spengler.
Now I can't stand her because of this movie. Now because of this one, I'm just like, oh my God, you made so many bad decisions. You're a fucking idiot. You don't even deserve the Spengler name.
Yeah. All right. I'm not there.
I'm there.
I'm not there. I do. I'm
in here, Ghostbuster.
Fucking idiot.
All right. Oh my God. Ridiculous.
Oh my God. Emily says, would have been great to see Ash show up with his boomstick. Give me some sugar, baby. Stay tuned for that in Amityville Barbi. Not necessarily Ash, but
something close.
Something close. Something similar, most likely. I don't know. All right. I mean, have I trashed the movie enough?
I think so. And all 15-year-olds.
Yes. 15-year-old girls.
Yeah, 15-year-old girl emotions.
I'm offended for some reason. I am offended. Can I cancel you?
Sure. Yes. Yes, Kundalini. We want strong Ripley characters like aliens. Exactly. And Sarah Connor. Where the fuck are they? Where the fuck Sarah Connor? Where's Ripley at? No, instead we get
I want my participation proton pack.
It sounds like Dirk a little bit.
Well, maybe Dirk and 15-year-old girls have something in common.
This is true.
They're both whiny little bitches. Can't control their emotions. Oh, man. All right, true believers. We're going to get out of here in a second. Let's wrap it up. Fuck, man. I hate the movie now, even more now.
I know
than
you
when
do.
we started
and
this episode. No, I mean, I hate it more now, an hour later.
Oh yeah.
When we start, I
Yeah.
don't think I hated it as much
No, I
when we
know.
started
This
doing
is
this
what
episode.
usually
It's like,
happens.
yes.
We
I
have
really
ruined
hate this
movies for me just talking about them on our reviews. I started out going, I really liked it, and then by the end, I'm like, oh no, I hated it. I hate it.
Sometimes you got to talk it out.
Well, and listen, the thing with this, I still will say it's a worth a watch. You don't have to see it in the theater. I do. I'm still holding on to. I like all the nostalgia in it. I laughed a lot. I felt good after it. So if you don't go in thinking you're going to see a great writing movie, everyone that didn't see it yet is probably off. But still, you're not going to see a masterpiece. And if you can go in there knowing that this writing fucking sucks and just enjoy it for the nostalgic moments, maybe watching it with your kids and having that bond where you could watch the old ones after, cool. It's good, but other than that.
Here's what I will say. Here's what I'll suggest. I'm not going to do it because, I'm a video editor, but I'm not going to do it. If somebody else wants to do it, it's probably a far more enjoyable movie if somebody would video edit it and just go in and cut out all of the scenes that involve Phoebe and the ghost
And see if
it just plays a little better.
I think it would be a little confusing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's still confusing anyway, even with them in there. And it's aggravating with them in there. It makes me mad. It's just such a fucking stupid subplot. I would probably find it more enjoyable without it, even if it didn't make as much sense.
It's so funny. The roller coaster of movie reviews. We left that theater saying, oh, I really liked it and clapping and felt good, but had some issues with it. Then we think about it over the week. We start this off saying that we have a lot of issues and we like it a little less, and then you end up hating it by the end of the review to where you might buy a copy and burn it. That's how much you hate it right now.
I don't know
Like,
if I would buy a copy.
the
and burn it. That
emotional
would still give them
roller
money. That would give the
like-
writer a residual, and I don't want that. So I don't even think I will watch this again when it comes on streaming. Will you?
No, I said
Yeah.
that earlier.
Yeah, I don't even think I'll watch it again when it's on streaming, unless they release a director's cut that actually has some more stuff in it. I would
like to see a director's cut just to see what
just to
they
see
got.
if there's more.
I will not say
story
never. I won't watch this on my own, but if
Your daughter wants
my
to watch
kid
it,
wants to eventually get into the Ghostbusters, yeah, we'll take this.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll take this
That
ride,
makes
and
sense.
starting and ending, but
Yep.
we're not there yet.
Yep.
She don't care.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Steph Infection. Another. I guess I can stop sharing that now, huh? Another excellent episode. There.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let me adjust my balls.
Yeah, you adjust them squatch balls.
So weird.
All right, Boo Believers. Stay tuned to my page. We're going to have some casting news soon for Amityville Barbi. We've added some people to the crew, and we are starting to go through our cast and starting to offer and confirm some roles. So stay tuned. You'll be seeing some stuff on the social medias pretty soon. If you haven't, make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Invite friends, share reels and videos. And yeah, we truly appreciate it. And we'll see you again on Friday.
Yeah, we gotta.
Maybe not you. But we have a show on Friday.
If you want to see me, come to Bar 13.
Bar 13, if you're in the area, Bar 13 Friday is our Hellware Punk Party. We have Neanderthal and Who Me, along with DJ Richie Riot. And
it's going to be a good night.
We'll be there having some fun. And I'll probably do a shortened Daily Booze Hard Talk live stream around 5 p.m. on Friday before we head out.
Wow. Music, it doesn't start. I think doors are 7:30. And
yeah, that's why I said I'll probably do a shortened one.
Yeah.
5 to 5:30.
8 is when Richie will start spinning.
$10, $2 PBRs till 10. Come on out and party. All right. Until then, Boo Believers, stay spooky.
Bye, Scream Hearts.